What am I doing? I'm playing my classic 301 Soulja Boy. That's right. Crank that, Soulja Boy. Why don't you Superman them hoes? I ain't paying full price for video games. What are you, crazy? So I get you a Soulja game? But this isn't a Soulja game, is it? It is not. And today, we're gonna talk about the problems with Soulja Boy's game consoles. If this interests you, you stay tuned for today's video, and we're gonna take apart these ridiculous consoles.
Surprisingly enough, I actually own another clone console that the Soulja Boy is selling. It's not exactly the same to a T, but the shell is very, very similar. And what's inside is even more similar, believe it or not. It's pretty insane to think, but he's selling 2 more consoles atop those pirated crap consoles that he was selling before. So we're going to get right into that, but this just happens to be one that I already own, because this is already being sold under a different name. If you didn't know or you had forgotten, Soulja Boy had recently come out and partnered with a company to sell a game console that looks just like this. This is the Revo K101. I do not have any deals or partnerships with any of the products I'm going to be talking about today. The point is, I know a lot about emulation and handheld consoles specifically, so they interest me a lot. The Soulja Boy happens to have a shell model of this to make it look very, very similar to the Revo K101 and make it look like a legit video game console. The other console he's selling looks like the shell of an Xbox One S. Yes, I'm dead serious, it looks exactly like a shell of an Xbox One S, but it's a piece of crap. The board is probably smaller than this, honestly, inside of it. So you can just imagine how well that thing runs. And there's reviews out there of it right now, so you can check into that as well. The point is, these consoles are crap. They're terrible, they're garbage. This is a higher tier of that console variation, and it is still not the greatest experience you could get. The newest console that the Soulja Boy is selling is the Fuze, the Chinese Fuze console. You might be saying to yourself, wow, this looks like a PlayStation ripoff. So he's selling a pirated version of a PlayStation 4, right? Well, not exactly. The Chinese console known as the Fuze is actually a very, very decent console. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, oh God, what are you talking about? I thought you said these consoles were crap. I'll get to that later. Just stay with me for now. I'm saying that it's decent because it has an NVIDIA Tegra K1 in it. It's a pretty decently clocked console. Very similar to the Nintendo Switch's interior components. It has NVIDIA Kepler in it, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, but it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth support, HDMI, USB, and it actually does have an OS that's very, very similar to the PlayStation, but it does also contain English support. So if you happen to want to order one of these things, you can. Soulja Boy is actually selling these for about $100 more than what you could buy them from the official website. From a source, you can get these for $100 cheaper. There's no difference. Soulja Boy is just marking them up because he's a rapper and he can promote them for a higher price. So while this is a decent gaming console, it is complete crap, because if you order it off of Soulja Boy, you're going to end up paying $100 more for nothing, for no reason. That's ridiculous. But that's just the beginning of the troubles. And by the way, on the Fuze's official site, would you look at what I found? Soulja Boy's previous aforementioned console, crap controller and all. Yep, that's right. You can find it right on their website for $78. But it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Why would it stop there? Retro Soulja Boy Mini. Gotta get the name right. It looks just like this. And again, I'm sorry about the glare. It's pretty bright, that's why I wear sunglasses. This is essentially what it is. I'll show you footage from a previous video where I've talked about this. This is a very, very nice system. It is not the best that you can get, and I'll talk about that later. But the point is, this is an NES. So you might be looking at this and saying, that's Game Boy. Look, that's a Game Boy. This is a Game Boy, right? Wrong. This is an NES. You got games like Double Dragon. You have games like Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Contra. Not terrible games in it of themselves. The problem is, I mean, I don't really know why you would buy one of these to have a portable NES. Nifty, unique, interesting, cool. Take it to parties, share it with people, play a few NES games. I'm fairly certain that you can even connect it to a TV. Not that you would want to. Again, the resolution, the scaling, not the best. You'd be way better off getting an NES Classic. Why would you buy one of these? Because they're cheap. Over on BitBoy, the official website, they have it discounted right now for $40. You can get them 40 bucks, and you get 2 extra buttons. So you have 2 button controller support. Pretty sure you can map them out to be turbo. You have start, select, and you have a reset button right here, so you don't have to constantly turn it off, turn it back on. You do have a volume control also on the side, but this isn't a review of this. This is talking about how this is essentially the same exact thing that the retro Soulja Boy Mini is, except this is even cheaper. This is 30 bucks cheaper. Now this Soulja Boy Mini comes with an SD card and you can load your own ROMs. But again, if it's running this software, if it can only emulate the NES, I think it's going to have an extremely hard time emulating things like the Super Nintendo. And if you're trying to emulate something like the Nintendo 64, you forget about it. You're paying $70 for a portable NES emulator that looks like a Game Boy. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, why can't I run the Sega? Why can't I run the Super Nintendo? Well, see, here's the problem, okay? On the retro Soulja Boy Mini, the problem is that you're constrained to the Nintendo because you only have 2 buttons. So you might be able to run the Game Boy, and you might be able to run the Nintendo. That's ridiculous. Essentially, you could get one of these for much less than a retro Soulja Boy Mini. And you could have a selection of NES ROMs on it, some of the most popular games. Again, it's a nice, niche, silly, fun, party, little console to take. Everybody's having a good time. You pass it around, play a few games, and that's that. Why you would want the retro Soulja Boy Mini to be constrained to an NES emulator in a package like this, I have no idea. Why you would pay that much, I have no idea, because I have a few examples here of what you could get alternatively. Now, once again, if you wanted to pay a little bit more, pay around $100, you could get the Revo K101. I've talked about this already. It's essentially the same exact thing that he's peddling, but it goes up to the Game Boy Advance. And you have a Revo K card, and you have the SD card right there, and you essentially just load in what you want on it, pop it in here, and then boom, you can go ahead and play pretty much any Game Boy Advance games up to the Game Boy Advance era. This will essentially run them. It's not made for a lot of other emulation, but it damn near runs Game Boy Advance perfectly, and it's the best Game Boy Advance type of clone console I've ever played in my life. If you're looking to run old emulators, all kinds of old emulators, check this out. This is an HP netbook. I got this at Goodwill. This is a Goodwill find. I found it for $50. Pretty much, if you're looking for just a plug-and-play emulation station kind of system, this thing can run quite a few ROMs and emulators. Much, much better than one of these. Much, much better than any Soulja Boy game console. And it also has support. Essentially plug this up to a monitor and put it out to that if you wanted a bigger TV. And you just get yourself a USB controller. All in all, this would cost essentially the same exact thing after you bought all of those components and put it all together as the retro Soulja Boy Mini. And again, you still have to provide your own ROMs and your own emulation for the Soulja Boy Mini. So it's not like they're just giving you free games. You have to do the same exact thing here as with that. Except with this, you actually have a keyboard and mouse support and a file system and a Windows system so that you can fix any problems that happen to it. You don't like the resolution? You can fix that. You don't like the emulator settings? You can fix that. A joypad goes out? You can buy a new one and put it on here. This thing works and it's portable. It has a big battery. It's a very nice thing to get for 50 bucks. You can find them on eBay. They're all over the place. You can find them cheaper on eBay. Let's say you really, really want a handheld. For whatever reason, you don't like the laptop, you don't like the Revo K, you really want a handheld. Check out what I found at Goodwill again. This is a $20 find. It can emulate the PlayStation, it can emulate the SNES, it can play the NES, it can play PSP games, you can load in PSP games into it and emulate them. You can do all kinds of game consoles, all the way up to the PlayStation 1. And it goes with you everywhere, and it's a controller and a screen. So again, you're paying around $70 for this, and you're paying around $70 for that. So why would you do that? Again, you can just get a revoke. They've done all the work for you. You just load ROMs into the SD card. Just the same way you're going to do with the Retro Soulja Boy. Even on the cheapest possible end you could get. This cost me under $20, and this is all of the Pokemon games from Generation 1 in one cart. And there you go. It works. It works. So, even on that end, at least you would have 7 official Pokemon games. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm talking about all this crap consoles that Soulja Boy's peddling on people. But it doesn't stop there, because the Soulja Boy wants to start his own eSports franchise. Riddle me this. How are you going to run an eSports franchise when you are in prison? Because yes, Rappa Soulja Boy may be headed to federal prison over the fake game consoles. Yeah, so there's a letter that's been sent to the Soulja Boy. Nintendo's team has suggested that selling the game console may violate Trademark Counterfeiting Act, and that if it can be proven that he violated the law, he might be subject to substantial prison time. They said that the first offense can be up to 10 years in prison and up to 20 years for repeat offenders. Now that he has 4 different game consoles that he's selling, I'm going to go ahead and say that Nintendo is going to shoot for the 20-year sentence, but they're going to want his money, okay? They're going to want a lot of his money first. So he may not spend time in prison, but he's definitely going to go broke over this. I have no idea why he's doing this stuff. Atop that, let's not forget a young lad by the name of 69 getting arrested for racketeering. Remember that? He's held without bail, facing life in prison. That's exactly what's going to happen to Soulja Boy. He's going to get raided out by the feds. He's going to have to go through court. He's going to have to answer for all of these fake clone consoles, and he's probably going to have to answer to Nintendo. And I got to tell you, facing 10 years in prison for selling fake video game consoles, probably not the coolest thing to do. So, Soulja Boy, I'm telling you, man, you're going to Superman right into prison if you don't stop this stupid crap. Ain't nobody triggered. I just don't like people getting taken advantage of. There's a lot of people out there who are very uneducated with game consoles, so they wouldn't know the difference between one of these and one of these. But this is infinitely better, and you pay a higher price, but the quality is so much better. This is an okay product, but to be buying it for $70, I don't really think so. I think that's a bit expensive. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Soulja Boy console debacle. Again, here we are again. I thought it was going to stop with the Fuze, but last night I had seen that he was selling one of these bad boys in the shell form of that in a very, very crappy handheld Game Boy-esque console, and I was like, well, that's it. I snapped, so now I've got to do a video on this again. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. Don't waste your money on crap like this, and tell your friends, please. Tell people who aren't really into gaming, maybe they like music, tell them, don't buy this crap, okay? Alright, I've been here as Protomario. I'm signing out. I would greatly appreciate if you guys would thumbs up this video and let people know that this stuff is going on. You can click that subscribe button. Tell me what you think. Come back here every day for another video, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time. Now, I need to go take a chill pill. I need to go get a strong drink. I need to get a relaxer. I gotta go. I'm so stressed out right now just thinking about this crap. I'm seriously gonna have a brain aneurysm.
You know how you can tell they're kind of crappy systems? When they have some ridiculously loud music in the background as soon as you start them up. There it is.